just looked like one that cannoned straight into the rope. Given as 4 though, not as 6, as Pedal will come on to strike. And he'll get off the mark with a nicely driven single.
We actually have a cushion of a replay, but the umpires, they don't have that. They have to decide, they have to give the decision in the center.
Yeah, and just a reminder that the reason for that is that it's consistent across all of the pathway events. So it's not as though, let's say, the Americas final had the extra coverage and extra cameras. Every single event, whether it's the sub-regional qualifiers, whether it's Cricket World Cup Challenge League in the 50-over format, whether it's a women's sub-regional or women's global qualifier event final, they won't have that ability to go to the third umpire. Pulled nicely into the gap, but no real timing. Should easily get a couple here. It's a slightly shorter side today. And that consistency then has to be applied across the board. So obviously no DRS, because you need Hawkeye in place for that, and an additional probably 10 more cameras than we're working with here. But also no line decision. Sometimes you get, on slightly enhanced broadcasts, you get stumpings and runouts and boundary checks and fair catch checks, but not full DRS with the Hawkeye. We don't have either. And I know we sometimes get some questions as to why not. There has to be a consistency across the pathway events. And that's the way it is. And a reminder, of course, that we're only 4 years into this style of coverage. Only you need to go back 5, 6, 7 years where you might have struggled to get a scorecard for some of these games. So hundreds and hundreds of matches live and free on ICC TV, and great to be here with you for them. 9 have been bowled at 65 for 1.
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
3 overs. I think it was 2 from Rahid and 1 from Sadiq that only went for 11. Sheikh hits it just shy of Mohammad Wasim, whose fielding is in a different stratosphere to where it was when his career started. He's told me just how hard he's been working in the gym, and he's always had good hands, but his movement now is significantly enhanced, even on a hot day like today. That was a good stop. But that death bowling, do you see a disparity in the quality between the two sides? It's always been a bit of a problem for Nepal.
It has been after Dipender Singh Airi started bowling in the death overs. One end problem has been solved, but not from the other end. Karan Keshi would have bowled in the death overs. Now it's all about Nandan Yadav, who can come and bowl in the death overs, mixing his pace.
Worked into the leg side. Now they might think of a second here. Interesting that Sheikh didn't want it. Possibly just showing a little bit of fatigue, Paresh. Because that was the perfect kind of weight to a stroke to get back for the second, and a good angle to go with it. Credit to Dhruv Parashar, who ran in very ably. But I thought there was 2 there. Real feel, Paresh, your app is brilliant. You've got to tell me what app that is. 37 degrees. Is that the humidity again that is spiking up? Humidity 73%. Temperature 31, but real feel up 37, 38. It will ease off as we get towards the second innings. Would that have been the smallest of factors when Rohit Paudel decided to bat first?
It might be. And the players, the openers, they have justified the decision by Rohit Paudel to bat first. Opening stand of 50 runs.
Helped round the corner, not the right line from Kaushik. There's going to be a chase all the way down to the rope in vain for Rohit. That's just a nice little tickle round the corner. It's something that Rohit Paudel maybe does better than anyone in the associate game. He uses the pace from the spinners on the offside and on the leg. He's all about deflections and little contortions with the bat. Very, very clever. And 4 more runs to the total.
The bottom hand comes bit slightly out of the bat, and he works with his top hand. Either side of the wicket, the late cuts that he plays.
Again, this time it's hit better, so there's no chance of two, so they'll just jog through for the one. It's been a fascinating 10 overs. Every single Associate El Clasico always has its ebbs and its flows and its moments for both sides. I think maybe Nepal just fractionally the happier of the two teams because they have 9 wickets in hand, but they'll also look like they'll want to get that run rate moving more swiftly in the second innings. We'll have a much needed break here in the commentary box. The players need the drinks even more than us. With the score after 10 overs, Nepal 73 for 1. Don't go anywhere too far. Back in 5 minutes time.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक. एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagh Bazaar, Kathmandu.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
मम्मीले त्यस्तरी भने हैन, अरु चीज बस हैन, 2 PM चीज बस मात्र ल्याउ न. बिर्स्यौ?
यो क्या? यो है त 2 PM चीज बस.
Red Bull presents T20 World Cup qualifiers. नेपालको विश्वकप यात्रा powered by Gyan Extra Long Grain Basmati Rice, Bajaj Pulsar and Gazab Kopiro Noodles.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक. एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं. मुटु चाहिन्छ, मुटु.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला, तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ.
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन. यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा. घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह. हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स. यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक. एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल.
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन. यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम.
Or instead of 6. If you do want to get in touch, use that hashtag, please, T20 World Cup. That's what we're playing for. 3 places at that T20 World Cup in February and March next year, co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. And I can already see I'm going to call them biblical scenes if Nepal were to qualify and play in India. Now, obviously, the group placements and seedings and all of that will have to wait to be announced. I'd expect the ICC to announce those pretty swiftly after this final qualifier. We know 17 of the 20 teams that have qualified, as they will take on the second this time. Good running from Asif Sheikh. Maybe just an instruction from Stuart Law, who we saw out with the batters, that let's start to get moving. We've 9 wickets in hand. The reason it would be biblical, there would be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of Nepali people who would come across the border and try to be a part of the most amazing journey for their team.
It will be a very good thing for Nepal. If Nepal qualifies for the 2026 T20 World Cup, we don't even need a visa to go to India.
It's a very porous border, isn't it? They call it one of the most porous in the world. There's a lot of kind of exchange between the two countries, very friendly relations, of course.
Energía para tu familia. Generadores con hasta 16 horas seguidas. Power stations sin humo ni ruido. Y lámparas y ventiladores recargables. Estamos eléctricos.
Paresh, I promise you, if Nepal play their 4 group games in any part of India, well, imagine if it was Dharamshala or if up in Delhi, especially so, but wherever they are in India, I think we will see a sea of blue and red if they qualify. A lot of cricket to be played to get there. And I'll tell you something, I've been so impressed with the likes of Japan and Qatar. I know Qatar are in a difficult position now with, in essence, 2 losses in the Super 6. Oh, inside edge and a bit of fortune for Asif Sheikh there. That could have gone anywhere. And also, don't rule out Samoa, but I think if there was one to upset the apple cart, it might be the winner of tonight's contest. The 3 highest ranked sides are the 3 favourites because they carried 2 points through. Here's the inside edge. Do you think you've sat on the fence a bit, but you said those 3 teams are the likely 3 qualifiers?
Yes, that is why they've carried 2 points with them in the Super Sixes. The top 3 teams with high ranking rather than the 3 teams with low ranking, tucked away on the leg side by Rohit Bordell. And talking about Asif Sheikh, the last shot, the inside edge, again, lack of feet movement.
I think there's a fatigue factor. I know he's trying to absolutely, very fit young man like so many of this Nepal squad, but he's trying to get his feet moving, but it just, when you're in this humidity, it's like your legs are sort of stuck in jelly almost. I finally got back on the treadmill after seeing a few photos of myself in that shirt the other night. So when I was in the gym last night, oh God, it was like legs in jelly. I promise you that. It's not easy. And that was in the air conditioning. Inside edge. Yeah, Sheikh just going through a difficult patch here. This game is hanging in the balance, isn't it? Nepal aren't by any stretch in a comfortable enough position at the end of the 11th, 79 for 1, that they would feel as though they're ahead of the game. They'd be pleased with what they've done thus far, but the last 9 overs are critical.
They are.
हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
Panchakanya bathware, luxury made affordable.
Big 2 overs these. Hit 2 well, so will only be the single. Again, Powell's pushing for the second. Sheikh is just starting to show signs of fatigue, understandably. You have to assess the match, don't you? You have to recognise you have 9 wickets in hand.
And talking about the fatigue, it's very, very warm out there. Diving effort there by the fielder at backward point. Dot ball. It's about Rohit Patel, what he does very swiftly. He plays the ball very late with very soft hands, and whenever he tries to hit hard, he uses his bottom hand.
Speared in this time. The boundaries have dried up a touch, haven't they? And for Nepal, they need to assess when to take risk from here, with those 9 wickets in hand, with the assets that they have to come. And if I was Stuart Law, I would be getting Gulshan Jha with the pads on.
Yeah, get 2 left-handers ready to come in.
I think you should have all options in terms of who could come in next. Other option, of course, is to say to Mala, spinners are bowling, go at it. Remember, Dhruv Parashar hasn't bowled a ball yet because there's 2 right-handers at the crease and has been throughout the innings.
Even if you talk about matchups, a left-hander batsman coming in and cut away into the gap. They're running hard, but it's not going to be the second run. Talking about the off-spinners bowling to left-handers, Kushal Malla White fancies his chances against the off-spinner as well.
Yeah, I think sacrificial lamb is the incorrect term, but I would send Malla in with a licence to explode. Say, look, if you get caught at long on, so be it. We still have lots of wickets in hand. But what Mala has is an X factor. 12 have been bowled, 83 for 1. That's why I thought his return to the squad was so important. Just the 3 off the over. Hyder Ali continues to be, 4 off it. Really impressive. But I would be probably revving Mala.
Laksha Aneg, Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
स्वदेश तथा विदेशमा आर्जन गर्ने शिक्षाको सम्पूर्ण खर्चको जिम्मेवारी लिन्छ आइएमई लाइफ इन्स्योरेन्सले।
आइएमई लाइफ बाल किरण जीवन बीमा योजना।
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Pads on. Just the sub-fielders, the 4 with the yellow vests on, out in the sun. As Rohit Powdell looks for that scoop shot, doesn't get anything on it. He's got 13 off 13. The runs are drying up here. UAE will be quietly quite satisfied with the last 3 or 4 overs.
Yeah, the last over, just 4 runs coming off Hyder Ali's ball. Over, that was the 12th over. It's Ali who's bowling his 3rd. A touch expensive, but a first ball of this over is a dot ball. Rohit Powdell trying a ramp shot, but wasn't able to do so.
Yeah, thanks to our team for finding that. It's just Kushal Patel out there. I think it might be Sandeep Jura on his left. Is it behind the pole without the pads on? So that might indicate that those inside the dressing room will probably be Mala and Jha with the pads on. And yeah, you can see Kushal Patel just talking there to Gyanendra Mala. Can't quite make out who's behind the pole. Is it Sandeep Jura? I think it might be, is it?
I think it's Sandeep Jura, but he hasn't has his pads on.
Well, he's not going to be in next then, is he? At number 4. So, yeah, slightly concerning period of play for Nepal. And probably some discussions going on. Of course, Nick Pothas is here alongside Stuart Law, the head coach, who's done such a good job since coming in. The runs have really dried up here. And if you just look at the last 4 or 5 overs, they've gone for 8, 6, 4, and now this one's only gone for 2. There was 1 boundary in the 10th, and then the maximum just before Kushal Patel got out. But really the big overs have dried up.
Rohit Powdell, he has to take calculative risks now. I overheard Nick saying to Kushal Malla, today is the day, today is your day.
Today is his day. And yet he's often one that comes in for a little criticism from the Nepal fans because he has a occasional glut of low scores. This one's chipped in the air and Powdell not finding any fluency. Wasim fields athletically. The direct hit though is going to allow a second. Skipper probably should have held on to that. It was a very flamboyant piece of fielding and marvellous, and he says, yes, sorry, probably just as well it wasn't Junaid Siddique, the bowler.
Just chipped in front towards Milan.
The reaction
Very
as well.
Quick between the wickets, these two.
Great awareness, yeah, but just the reaction from Wasim as he threw it said, oh no, what have I done? I think even the captain is relieved that Junaid Siddique wasn't bowling there because he would have got a spray from his big fast bowler. Just saw there as well the square leg umpire, because of the sun which is so low, he's actually at point, and that makes a lot of sense for Rashid Riaz. Again, Nepal just happy to nudge it around. They will get the second this time. Throw goes to the non-striker's end. A little bit of frustration from UAE in the field and a few hands on hips out there. Neither side is ahead of the game here. These are very nervy moments, nervy exchanges in this big Associate El Clasico clash.
The strike rate of Asif Sheikh is just dropping a bit. Good running between the wickets between these two. Very fit guys, these Nepali players. You can see Dipendra Singh Airi, Rohit Powdell, Kushal Patel, Asif Sheikh, Gulshan Jha. Sompal Khami is also so fit.
Nicely worked again. I think there's two more here because it's perfectly placed. So even if the boundaries aren't coming, at least there's some good intent in between the wickets, and they've managed to find a way to get 8 off that over. Big 7 overs remain here in Muscat. It's 91 for 1.
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree. Bagh Bazaar, Kathmandu.
मम्मीले त्यसरी भने हैन अरु चीज बस हैन 2 PM चीज मात्र ल्याउ न बिर्स्यौ
यो क्या यो है त 2 PM चीज बस
They thinking. Usually do get in that question. Quite often the captain, if you do ask them that, will say, we'll assess it as we go. they rarely give you a number, or if they give you a number, it can be miles off what they're actually thinking. Dhruv Parashar will come into the attack for the first time. It does bowl off breaks, but has the ability to kind of take that little carom ball away. He's someone who's been very impressive. Again, another one of that incredible Emirati development system. Andy Russell and all the team at UAE Cricket have done a phenomenal job through all 7 of the Emirates. Slashed away behind square and the offside, should get a couple again. They've also, it's not just the ILT20, but the development league that sits underneath that. We've seen it's Jonathan Figgy who's forced his way back in through that. I think 450s consecutively he made in that competition. They have the world-class facilities. Okay, in the summer it's probably too hot, but in the winter they've got the most perfect cricketing climate. And yeah, in many ways they've got so many things going for them. Sometimes they underperform. You could argue they shouldn't be bottom of the table in Cricket World Cup League 2, for example. Good diving stop there from Kaushik. Keeps it to a dot. But there's no doubt the production line of local talent, born and bred in the UAE, in the last 5 or 6 years has been really impressive.
The facilities in UAE are very, very good. Just didn't release the ball in that occasion by Parashar. And talk about facilities, there's Sharjah Cricket Stadium, the ICC Academy, Dubai Sports City Stadium, even Abu Dhabi. We have plenty of cricket grounds there.
You up at the 7s as well, which is a little bit out. You've got to go quite a bit inland from the sort of fancy sites of the marina and Business Bay and the like, probably 40 minutes into the desert. Phenomenal facilities out there. Plenty of English counties go across and use those for pre-season. Up in Ajman, there's a really good cricket ground being developed. Plenty of facilities there. Good over this, and just pressure building up in a big way on Asif Sheikh. He's hit a lull in his innings and he can't get it away. He's got to get on with it or get out here. They're the two options for Asif Sheikh.
Yes, still 9 wickets remain. This is the 14th over, the last ball of the 14th over. He has to get on with the game. He's on 44 of 40.
Tries the big shots and just is going to get the nearly full maximum reward, but a sensational stop. Basil Hamid might have done himself a nuisance. He's definitely saved 6. He saves 4 runs in total, but he looks in real agony. Concerning scenes. I just wonder, is he going to be okay? He immediately went down. The doctor is sprinting across the outfield. A heroic effort from him. Looked like it was 6 all the way, didn't it? And what a stop this is. Sensational. And let's just hope he hasn't done himself such a nuisance. He looks in really concerning scenes. He's in the best possible hands of Dr. Manish, the long-standing team doctor for the UAE. But the reaction was a dislocated shoulder. That was my initial instinct. Trying to get a bit of movement into it.
मैच विनर, टॉस रिपोर्ट, सेशन रिपोर्ट, सब चीजें आप सभी लोगों को मैं बिल्कुल फ्री में
Continue. UAE team manager is over as well.
हमारे चैनल पर आप सभी लोगों को क्रिकेट प्रिडिक्शन की रिपोर्ट बताने के, सेशन रिपोर्ट बताने के टॉस रिपोर्ट बताने के किसी से कुछ भी पैसे नहीं लिए जाते, सब कुछ बिल्कुल फ्री है, तो फटाफट से ज्वाइन कर लीजिए। और कल एक बड़ा खतरनाक
arm, if that makes sense. It looks a nasty injury. Rohit Paudel straight to long on, finds the man. And a disappointing innings for the skipper, could never really quite get going. He's going to have to go for 20. Easiest of catches held by the subfielder who's just come on, Mohammad Farouk. Paudel's got to go. Nepal maybe just in a spot of bother. Can't get the run rate moving the way they would like. UAE fighting back. Rohit strikes.
It was a short ball game, self-room, but straight to long on. Rohit Paudel had to go because they are not scoring runs. The boundary was drying up. He had to go. Again, gets out on 20s of 19 ball. Just a 4 in this innings. Just a single 4 for him.
Now the fascination will be, which way does Stuart Law turn? He's going to show a lot of faith in the youngster Kushal Malla and stick with him at number 4, despite the fact it's Mohammad Rohid at the bowling currently with 4 balls left in the over. Yeah, definitely the subfielder who took the catch out at long on. But they'll put a big show of faith in Kushal Malla, who hits a massive ball. The reason I've described him as an X-Factor player, at times in his career he's had a strike rate up at 160, 170. Nepal need to finish with a flourish here. If they continue at this rate, they're only going to end up with 130 or 140, which they'll need to bowl and field exceptionally well to defend. Big final 5 overs after this one coming up. Can Malla make an impact on the tournament for the first time?
Identifying Kushal Malla is on strike. Rohit bowls a short ball into the body.
Great comeback from Rohit because he was, well, treated with a bit of disdain. The only benefit for the Nepal side, I know Junaid Siddique has plenty of overs left, but he's got 2, so he'll probably bowl 18 and 20. But Rohit will be bowled out after this over, so there will be maybe 3 overs to target from the final 5. Malla gets off the mark, just punches that one down the ground. What will the discussion have been from Stuart Law, Nick Pothas, Gyanendra Malla to Kushal Malla, the youngster? What will they have said to him going out there? Play with complete freedom, look for the boundaries from the off?
That is what the case should have been. The 3 support staff, the head coach, the batting consultant and the assistant coach Gyanendra Malla, they must have given freedom to Kushal Malla to go and hit the ball.
Big appeal. Has this pitched in line is the question, and I think no is the answer. Asif Sheikh's lull continues. Let's get another look here. Oh, it pitched a long way outside the leg stump. It's going to smash into middle. Doesn't matter a bit.
This is excellent bowling by Mohammad Rohit. Got a wicket of Paudel, the captain of Nepal. Now bowling dot balls. Only a single run coming off this over, the 15th.
His first 2 overs went for 20. Incredible to think of the comeback since then. It shows how much T20 can change. Great skills from the left armour. He's going to finish with the superb figures of 1 for 28. I think the UAE are on top with 5 to go. Nepal need to change something. Despite having 8 wickets in hand, the men from the Himalayas are in a spot of bother. It is 97 for 2. Seen the 6 bowlers used. Basil Hamid, of course, is the other off-spinning option, but with him off the surface, he won't bowl again. And you just sense now that Nepal are getting themselves into a territory where they need to have a flying finish. Haider Ali will almost certainly bowl one of the last 5. Junaid Siddique will bowl 2 of them. Maybe Zahid Ali will bowl the other, and it will be Drug Parashar to bowl the 16th. But Nepal haven't been able to get a hold of him either. They're in a spot of bother here, the Rhinos. not able to capitalise upon that excellent opening partnership, Paresh.
Yeah, it all started in the middle overs where, because of the heat, we think that Asif Sheikh was a bit down, but they were taking 2 runs, Rohit Paudel and Asif Sheikh.
Yeah, and there's many ways to, probably not the greatest expression, many ways to skin a cat, isn't there, in terms of you can do it in multiple manners, getting 8 or 9 runs per over. You don't need to get 4s and 6s if you run well between the wickets. And Kushal Malla may well take on the spinner, but as a consequence, Parisher just darts it in and is happy to keep him to a single. 10 and over from here would get them to in and around 150. It's probably what they need, Paresh.
They need minimum of 150 just to have a game out of it, because you very well know how Mohammad Wasim is in a very good nick. And it's that if Wasim scores runs...
Cut away. Now this is a nice looking shot, and it should be good enough to get 50 for Asif Sheikh. He gets to the landmark. Good piece of footwork in the deep, keeps it to... Just 2. It's come off 4. In how to captain when not taking wickets, but restrict the opposition and put them under pressure. Something's got to give here between the two sides. Clever bowling again. Not an ounce of flight for Kushal Malla to work with over his favourite zone of long on.
Bowling it outside the off stump, bit flat and not giving the air, not bowling in the zone of Kushal Malla that he can hit across the line.
Have to remember they've got a red hot Gulshan Jah chomping at the bit to get out there. Big appeal and no need for it because it's cannon into middle stump. Asif Sheikh could just never quite get going. It is that little carom ball, I think, maybe just held in the surface a touch. He did get 50, a 9th T20 international 50, goes past 1500 T20I runs in the process. He's played nicely, but surely it's got to be Kushal Malla to the crease now. Very good bowling.
Just missed the ball completely. I think it hit the back thigh and went into rattle the stumps.
Yeah, I think that's why he was appealing. He thought that it might have been plumb LBW, which it would have been, but you don't need to appeal for the LBW when it flicks the pad. So at the end of Asif Sheikh's innings, he gets a warm round of applause from his teammates going off. UAE keep impressing, 103 for 3. Well, a big call, potentially because they don't want the two left-handers at the crease together. They're going to go with Dipendra Singh Airi at number 5, not the red-hot Gulshan Jah. And whilst Airi is a fantastic all-round record, and of course he loves this ground, became just the 5th ever international cricketer to hit 6 consecutive sixes in the same over. Here against Qatar last year in the ACC Premier, it's going to be all about whether he can get going quickly. Big over this one. Hyder Ali to Kushal Malla. Malla's got to go downtown. He's got to go big, and Nepal have got to get themselves into this contest. Really good knowledge. It's cut away though. Goes very close to the rope. Another good diving stop. Just quietly, UAE's fielding's been impressive. That's 2 more runs saved.
From the start, they've been fielding very good. UAE fielders, again, bowling outside the line of off stump, not giving air, not bowling in that zone where Kushal Malla can just step on one knee and play across the line. That is his favorite shot, down to mid-wicket or long on.
Speared in down the leg side. That's going to help. Take every run they can get now. 3 freebies. Irie wants to turn it into 4. It'll be 3 wides. Mala's got to take a risk here, doesn't he? He's got to find a way to pump him downtown.
Drifting his line. He was trying to bowl a block hole, Haider Ali, but going towards the leg stump. Freebies for Nepal.
The Nepal fans are chanting and making as much noise as they can just to try and get their team going. They know they're behind the 8 ball. Just a single again. Good bowling from Ali. They've given no flight at all to Mala. They know their opponents here, the UAE.
Still 7 wickets remaining for Nepal. Gulshan Shah yet to come. Sundeep Sora yet to come. Played that fantastic innings against West Indies in Sharjah.
Good little crowd building up all of a sudden. We've managed to find a way in. There's been a few bits of pleading with the bosses. Please, boss, I need to leave. As Irie goes through the offside, just a single. Those singles at the moment not really hurting the UAE. This has to be the matchup, doesn't it? Even if Mala's going to need to dance down the track, he's got to find a way to show that power that he possesses.
Haider Ali is not giving that air to the ball, so that Malla coming down the track is not a possibility. Just staying there.
Well bowled this time into the block hole, so not able to get underneath it or find the elevation that he would like. Every over without a boundary for the UAE at this late stage is a win for them.
8 runs coming off the first 4 balls of this over. They have to make it count, the remaining 2 balls. Dipender Singh Airi and Kushal Malla.
Now Irie looks for the big one, but it's straight to Mohammad Wasim, and Haider Ali, well, he is pumped up in a big way. Big celebration, nothing from his teammates. He was giving it the big one, leaping into the air like David Warner. And the catch taken with a minimum of fuss. Irie's 6 hitting exploits at this venue aren't on show today. And the majority of the second half of this innings has belonged to the men from UAE. They've been excellent.
Didn't get a good piece of it. Got the inner part of the bat. Simplest of catches for Mohammad Wasim. He could take that kind of a catch with the eyes closed.
Irie's got to go for 1. It's 111 for 4. And now, perhaps a little more delayed than some of the Nepal fans would have liked, it is Gulshan Shah who will come to the crease, but he'll only have 19 balls to be out there for at most. For me, he's been exceptional this tournament. He's made such a difference. The impact that he has had has been quite sensational. You could have argued that he's the game changer in both games so far. He's also got the highest strike rate of the tournament at 184. He'll face up to Haider Ali. And is unable to get off the mark as it's speared in. Great figures. We called Haider Ali out as one to watch. He's a real find for the UAE. He's helped put the Emiratis on top. 1-1-1 for 4. gigantic final 3 overs in the context of Nepal's campaign, in the context of UAE's campaign, and both sides' hopes of going back to the T20 World Cup. It'll be Junaid Sadiq with all his death bowling quality to bowl 18 and 20. And he beats Kushal Malla outside the off stump. UAE's last 7 overs have been exceptional. Nepal have been found wanting.
Kushal Malla beaten outside the off stump ball. The ball just moving away from the left-hander after pitching. How often do we see that? A wicket falling at the score of Nelson.
Yeah, often David Shepherd was the one. Great former English umpire. We lost another legend of the game, Dickie Bird, quite recently. Always superstitious. As Malla chips that one down the ground. Now, Jah has a phenomenal record this tournament and a great record against the UAE. Maybe most famously that game on March 16th back in 2023 that you and I and anyone connected to associate cricket will probably never forget. He hit 20 off an over of Mohammad Wazeem, but it's an altogether different prospect against Junaid Sadiq.
It is a very smart bowler, Junaid Sadiq. We can see that he's moving the ball after pitching. That is lateral movement for him. Kushal Malla not getting the ball. Very good connection.
Jah chips it down the ground. He hit pretty well, and he may have it well enough to get to the rope. Yes, that has hit into the rope, and it's another injury, it looks like. Landing on the rope, getting himself into a spot of bother, and Gulshan Jah is at it again.
The middle fielder was inside the circle, Mohammad Wazeem. That's why it resulted a boundary. Good effort by the fielder there, but I think he's rubbed his tummy on top of
I think it's the shoulder again, and it's Alishan Sharafu. More concern for the UAE, and again, Dr. Manish is having a hair across the turf. He's dived full length. I think what's happened there is he's landed with his right shoulder on top of the rope. I hope that one is just going to be a bruise and a bit of a jarring and not some kind of dislocation, but we'll have a second subfielder on, no doubt about that.
Excellent effort by Sharafu. He gets his right shoulder on top of the rope and bangs it. Let's hope that it's okay. The umpire just sending off the medical staff.
12th player for Nepal is trying to find their voice. There's actually a lovely interaction between Rohit Paul and Mohammad Wazeem, who are, yes, rival captains, but very good friends off the field, and with a huge amount of respect for each other. Two great leaders, two of the finest associate captains, you would have to say. And Mohammad Wazeem looked up to the media sent to the grandstand here and said, no 12th player today for you, Rohit, because they hadn't come in yet. And he goes, Rohit said, I think there'll be a few along later. And he goes, maybe not as many as the other day. Understandably, again, of course, because of the fact it's the first day of the working week. But this is the first time they've really found their voice, because one of their real favourites, he's an absolute fan favourite. You can understand why. Gulshan Jah is in. He's got his first boundary. What can he do with the 15 remaining deliveries? Can he get this Nepal innings moving? Carted away into the offside. He's at it again. Gulshan Jah is playing the best cricket of his life. I have no idea how he's got that all the way for 6. He's picked the slower ball and stood there and simply devastated it over the offside. Outstanding batting.
Bottom hand coming into play. Sliced it over the infield on the offside.
How's he got that for 6?
Is because of the bottom hand coming into play.
Extraordinary shot.
If you remember, he hit 1-6 against West Indies.
Yeah, similar, wasn't it? It's a good shout in the Indian Cup. Bit of pressure now on Sadiq. Pressure on UAE maybe for the first time. Goes through the offside again. Gets a good piece of it again. Gets 4 more. Shades of that over against Mohammad Wazeem. Back at the TU. And it's got the Nepal fans dancing up in the crowd. They have just one player they love more than anyone right now. It's the young Gulshan Jah.
Again giving himself room, playing towards extra cover into the gap. Placement was excellent by Gulshan Jah. 3 boundaries on a trot, 4, 6 and a 4.
Well, he made 20 off 5, didn't he, against Kuwait, that completely changed the game. He's got 14 off 4 here. It's the hardest art in the modern game. Coming to the crease, Tim David does it so brilliantly for Australia. Every single franchise, every single international team wants a player who can come in and score immediately. Jazz doing it yet again for Nepal here. Full toss, heaved into the leg side, could be taken, is. And Junaid Sadiq strikes back. Big moment in the game. And Gulshan Jah is asking for a no ball. We're asking, there's something maybe just happened after the dismissal. Whether there was a word or some contact between the two. Jazz not happy. It was short and it's sweet, and he's gone now.
It was a good catch by the fielder at deep mid-wicket, sliding to his front. Send off by the fielder as well.
Just wonder what's happened here. I don't know if we have the replay of after the ball. Junaid Sadiq has now been given a real talking to by Rashid Riaz. Whether it was a word or whether there was some contact, I don't know. He's only lasted 5 balls, but he's had an impact with that 4-6-4 burst, much more like what Nepal needed. But Junaid Sadiq has the last laugh. Jazz gone for 14, 126 for 5. Concerning scenes for the UAE. That's 2 of their batters, 2 of their top order batters, that there is an injury cloud hanging over. And just a reminder, we only have the complete replacement in case of a concussion or a head injury. So both of those 2 Emirati batters are going to have to find a way to bat. The microscope goes even further now on Mohammad Wasim. It'll be Ali to bowl the 19th. Mala is joined by Sundeep Jora. Mala's got to find a way to get in at the act now. Helps this round the corner. No timing though. Will pick up a couple. Hasn't really got anything going yet, Kushal Mala.
It was a pace off, hitting the deck by Ali. Good change of pace. That is why Mala didn't time it as well as he'd liked. Only 2 runs off the first ball, off the penultimate over.
Big 11 balls this. Mala needs to find some boundaries. Ideally, for Nepal, he needs to clear the ropes a couple of times. Good bowling, and it's a little feather of an outside edge. It's going to be the end of Mala. Big celebration for Zahid Ali. I think it was a slower ball, an off-cutter. Excellent catch from Rahul Chopra. And Mala's got to trudge off for a 3rd low score. He's gone for 10.
Rahul Chopra has been very good behind the stumps. Store ball off cutter. There was a bit of turn as well. That is why it took the edge of Kushal Malla.
Nepal have got themselves in a tangle. They've lost 2 in the course of just 3 deliveries. Jah the big one, and now Malla rather forlornly has to walk back. He's gone for 10. It's 128 for 6. Great execution and definite turn off that off-cutter, like you said, Paresh. I felt this would be an over that Nepal should be targeting with the inexperience internationally of Zahid Ali. And remember, Mohammad Rohid was bowled out earlier. Still have 10 balls left, Nepal, and they still have 4 wickets in hand. Sampal Kami will come to the crease. What can they muster up? Can they find a way to scrap up to 140 or something above that? Again, it's that off-cutter, worked into the offside. Kami, well, Jora wanted the 2nd. Kami sends him back, probably rightly so.
The fielder was very quick to the ball. So Balkami opening his account on the first ball that is faced. That was exceptionally good bowling by Ali, the off-cutter. The ball turning like an off-spinner, getting the edge of Kushal Malla.
Yeah, maybe a few signs for Nepal's bowlers, particularly their spinners, that they'll have some joy in the second innings, but for now it's all about these 9 balls. Actually, Jora's first delivery he's faced all the way into the 19th over here. Slow ball, pumped down the ground. Kami should get back for the second and will comfortably with the fumble out at long off. Do you think it's been a misstep, almost placing too much onto the shoulders of Gulshan Jha with his form, getting him to the crease so late, Paresh?
That is what we thought. Gulshan Jha will be sent as a finisher. That is what he did. Scored 4, 6 and a 4. And it was a full toss that he got out to.
I think for me, he's such a good player. He needs to be thought about as more than just a finisher. Yorker attempted and pretty much nailed. Kami thinks of the second, but it's the shorter side of the ground, so it'll just be 1. Credit to the UAE, their fielding, potentially it will be quite costly in terms of 2 bodies that could have significant injuries there with Basil Hamid and Alishan Sharifu, but their fielding's been very good, and in general their bowling execution exceptional.
The effort the fielders have shown, 2 injuries, 2 shoulder injuries for UAE players. Hope they come to bat.
Nepal will be looking at it and thinking, if we get Wasim early, we're right in the game. If we don't, we're in trouble. To the offside. Very elegant batter for someone who's as low down the order as he is, Sampal Kami. Technically ever so correct, the all-rounder. He'll have an important role to play with the new ball too. 19 bowled. 133 for 6.
6 ball remain of the innings. Nepal 133 for 6. It's going to be Sampal Kami on strike.
Since this final over is critical, it's almost as though I've been saying that the whole innings. Every part of the remainder of the first innings is important, but if Sadiq keeps it to 7 or less, keeps Nepal to 140 or less, and UAE take all the momentum in, somehow Kami and Jora need to find the rope. Into the block hole and given. It's an inside edge taken by Chopra, who I don't think he was certain about the inside edge because he tried to affect the stumping. And there's been a bit of carry on now. We did see the decision given out. Kami is staying there for the moment. And now Rashid Riaz is saying not out because of a combination of whether it's the keeper himself or maybe the square leg umpire possibly saying that the catch wasn't held. I think the end result is going to be 1 run. And this will make for a fascinating replay.
The keeper, Rahul Chopra, he just had a shy at the stumps after taking the ball. That indicates that the catch hasn't been carried.
Well, exactly. That's what you would have thought. So let's have a look. It is an inside edge. Held it at first and then dropped it clearly. So great spirit of cricket from Rahul Chopra. So you feel a bit here for umpire Rashid Riaz because he's been right in terms of the fact that the inside edge was affected. But then what's happened is Chopra's gone so quickly to his left, taking the catch at first, then it bobbles out, hits the turf. Jora runs through for the single. They're appealing, it's given out, and then the throw comes to the non-striker's end. I think at that point, the single is going to count. They end up trying to run him out as well at the non-striker's end. Chaos reigns. And I think a bit of common sense, a good spirit of cricket, both from Rahul Chopra, Mohammad Wasim on show. They say, okay, we understand the catch has gone down. We're happy with the single being given. And Rahul Chopra reverses his decision and it ends up as a single, bringing Jora on to strike. All happening in Muscat. Helped into the leg side. Those low full tosses from Sadiq's pace have proven effective, getting the wicket of Gulshan Jha. Batter's not able to get it away.
This is excellent bowling by Junaid Siddique. Bowling those low full tosses, it's very hard for a batsman to clear the boundaries with those. excellent last over. Only 2 singles of the first 2 balls. 4 balls remaining. Nepal 135 for 6.
Going very deep in his crease. Look at that. Has to be careful. That's why he's a little bit outside off as well. He's anticipating the full length delivery from Sadiq, trying to get underneath it. Instead he goes to the cutter. It's helped away over the offside. Should get a couple. Good game of cat and mouse between the batter and bowler. Kami reacts quite nicely. No boundaries coming though. This is going to be a below par total for Nepal, Paresh, we feel.
Wasim will take this. No boundaries in the last over. Only a couple in the last ball. 4 runs coming off the first 3 balls. They need to look for boundaries. They need to get boundaries. Sompal Kami in particular in the strike.
3 balls left. Brilliant bowling. It's an in-swinging Yorker. All Kami can do is dig it out. 1 more single to the total. It's such a huge game, this, not just because they're rivals, Paresh, but the winner of this will feel as though they almost have 1 step onto the drawbridge of the plane to head to India and Sri Lanka. The loser is looking at the remaining fixtures and going, we probably can't make another mistake.
Very true, Lenny. The 2 teams carrying 2 points into the Super Sixes. This is an excellent over by Junaid Siddiq.
Brilliant skills from the big fast bowler. Goes short, goes wide. Oh, gets away with it. Side on replay will be interesting here. He wanted the wide. It's given us a bye instead. Was that too short? Guideline, but did look quite short, and Jora is short in stature.
This is good variation by Junaid Siddiq. That's fine.
Great umpiring. That's why he's down there. That's why I'm up here. Exceptional. Really good umpiring from umpire Muckle. Correctly given as the bye. Brilliant Yorker. Gonna miss the leg stump, but it's been a showcase in death bowling of the highest quality from Junaid Siddiq. Nepal will have to be satisfied with an even 140. They won't get any more. They probably don't deserve any more because the UAE have been exceptional. The big concerns for them are those 2 shoulder injuries to Basil Hamid and Alishan Sharafu, both top order batters. We're not sure whether or not they'll be able to play a full part in the second innings. We'll try and get you an update on that in between the 2 innings. But that is the Nepal batting card. Plenty of starts, Paresh, but with the exception of Gulshan Jazz, strike rate up towards 300. Nobody really doing it at a rate that will threaten the UAE.
Apart from the opening first 6 overs, not getting those runs. This is the bowling card, Junaid Siddiq. Every bowler, there were 6 bowlers used, each and every bowler getting a wicket apiece.
Yeah, 6 bowlers, every one of them having some success. For me, the pick of them though was Hyder Ali. Thought he was really impressive with his 1 for 22. And good use of Harshit Kaushik. And actually it was an excellently